Hello everybody, ArashiYT here, your coach of the Groningen Noctowls, bringing you week 7 of the BBL Season 3 as we take on Clutch, coach of the King City Kingdras. So we're facing against one of the biggest threats in the Uber meta, in my honest opinion, and that is the Arceus-Dark. And funny enough, we're going to face off against two Arceus teams back to back. This week we'll face off against Arceus-Dark from Clutch, and next week, if I'm not mistaken, we will face against Arceus Ferry, which is owned by Gelt, coach of the new Britain Rockruffs. But that match is next week. We now have to worry about this Arceus, the Arceus-Dark. And my opponent is also rocking out the Kommo-o, the Zeraora, the Aegislash, and then two bulky mons, Donphan and Slowbro. Now I'm bringing, of course, the MVP for the Groningen Noctowls this season, Maractus, also rocking out with Yveltal, Mega Medicam, Primarina, Torkoal, and Seviper. So my team is as followed, and if you don't know after the team recap what my team is, you can always pause the video, or at the end of the video check the description. There will be a poke paste there, so you can check out my team spread if you're still confused on the sets that I'm running. But my Maractus is running the Normalium Z growth set. We're also rocking out Giga Drain, Hidden Power Ground, and Spiky Shield. Chlorophyll, of course, because we have Torkoal, which is rocking out the Heat Rock, Stealth Rocks, Flamethrower, Solar Beam, and Rapid Spin. My Yveltal is rocking out the Choice Scarf with Dark Pulse, Oblivion Wing, Heat Wave, and U-Turn. Mega Medicam is rocking out Drain Punch, Poison Jab, Ice Punch, and Bullet Punch. Primarina is rocking out the Assault Vest with Hyper Voice, Moonblast, Ice Beam, and Energy Ball. And we have a Seviper here, which is also a Choice Scarf set with Poison Jab, Night Slash, Earthquake, and of course Final Gambit if needed. Seviper can just come in and just sacrifice himself for the team. But let's see if that actually will happen in this match. So, as mentioned, I'm very afraid of the Arceus-Dark. Arceus is such a huge threat to any team in the Uber meta, at least what I've experienced in the BBL from last season, this season. And he's going to start out with the Kommo-o, and I'm going to start out with my Maractus, hoping the Donphan will come out as first, but that's not the case. So here I was like, alright, we have to switch into the Primarina because that mon can pretty much counter this Kommo-o. And to my biggest surprise, this Kommo-o is going to substitute up. So I could have just, you know, Giga Drain already, tried to do something. I could have growled there and get my boost up on the special attacking side, but he's now going to go for the Dragon Dance. I just had to Moonblast there and take care of the substitute with the Primarina. But right away from the start, he's setting up, and in this point I was like, I could lose my Primarina here. And there we go, the Poison Jab will connect, but it's not going to kill off the Primarina. It will poison the Primarina, which sucks, but we are going to Moonblast on the Kommo-o, and the Kommo-o will be going down from this Moonblast. So, Kommo-o now already gone, and I'm very happy with that, because Kommo-o could become a problem. But then, of course, there is the big monster himself, which is going to click that Thunderbolt and take care of my Primarina. So his Kommo-o is down, my Primarina is down, and that kind of sucks for me because the Primarina was also kind of a check for the Arceus-Dark. So, you know, that him losing Kommo-o was more beneficial for him than me losing Primarina there. But he, of course, is now going to switch out on the Arceus-Dark. With the Arceus-Dark on the Mega Medicam, I will, of course, go and click Drain Punch, because that's the obvious play. And that's going to do a lot of damage, but of course that was a crit. So I was very lucky there, and here I have to switch out. I can't risk my Mega Medicam to get like poison, to get like skull burnt, so I had to actually switch out into my Torkoal to try to get the sand up. And he is going to click Toxic, poisoning me. So, you know, me switching out there was not only the obvious play, but the better play for me. Because if I got Toxic there on the Mega Medicam, that would have been, you know, that would have been bad. If I could have made the prediction in the match itself and gone into the Survivor, I could have just clicked the final Gambit there. But it's all okay. The Donphan now will come in and I will click Stealth Rock. So now the Stealth Rocks are on his side of the field. But we have Donphan here and he's going to straight up Rapid Spin those Stealth Rocks away. And I was like, alright, that's fine by me because I clicked Solar Beam here to do as much damage as possible. And I think I did the calculation here and I knew I could have survived an Earthquake from the Donphan, but he is going to reveal a berry, the Ear Papa Berry if I'm not mistaken. No, the Figgy Berry. And here I was like, well, I'm poisoned right now. The poison damage is going to stack up, so I have to switch out right now. So I'm making a very bold play here to go into my Yveltal, hoping he goes for the Earthquake. Because that will not do anything to the Yveltal. And he is going for the Earthquake on the Torkoal. But as mentioned before, the Yveltal can take that easily because it's up in the air. But down on the air we have Arceus-Dark already again on the field. I went for the U-turn because it was a less risky play for my part, and if he wants to go into the Arceus-Dark, at least the U-turn will do some chip damage to the Arceus-Dark. Now here, Randy's the Viper. I told him you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, Randy. You don't have to do this, but he just does it again. He just clicks Final Gambit, take care of the Donphan, but Randy will go down as well. Let me take a silence moment for Randy, the Survivor, who 2 times in a row now died while taking care of a Pokemon from the opponent's team. He got 2 kills this competition so far, but he also died 2 times. Survivor, you're the man. You have balls, even though you're a snake. Much respect for Survivor. Much respect. He could have gone for a Poison Jab. He could have gone for an Earthquake, but he knew that Final Gambit was the way to go. But back into the MVP for the Groningen Noctowls this season, the Maractus. I am going to click that Spiky Shield. I want to scout out what the Zeraora was going to do. And the Zeraora was trying to hit that C-move on me. And not just any C-move. He was trying to hit me with that fighting C-move, if I'm not mistaken. The all-out pummeling. He was trying to hit my Maractus. He was trying to demolish Maractus. But because we did hit that Spiky Shield, that's not going to do enough. And I'm going to pause it here for a second. Because Maractus does get Spiky Shield. I've showed that many times now in this competition so far. And funny enough, the next Pokemon games are Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Farfetch'd has been revealed to get an evolution which is Sword exclusive, Surfetch'd. So Game Freak, if you're listening to me, if you're watching my channel for some reason, give Maractus an evolution, maybe add a Steel type, maybe add another type, you know, make Maractus more bulky maybe, have a Shield maybe, and make it a Shield exclusive for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Give Maractus some love. If you can give Farfetch'd some love, which he deserves, you can give Maractus some love as well. Okay, Game Freak, I'm watching you. But as mentioned, we're not going to do that much damage from the all-out pummeling because we hit Spiky Shield. Now he will hit the Plasma Fist on the Maractus, which is also not going to kill off the Maractus. And we're going to hit that Hidden Power Ground on the Zeraora, which isn't a 2-hit KO, sadly enough. And now I have to switch out because even though we didn't outspeed even with the sun up, I have to make sure the sun is up again. And if needed, I can maybe do something against the Zeraora. So the Drought is now coming up from the Torkoal. The Torkoal is still poisoned, however, but he is going to substitute. He's going to try to substitute again. So here I was like, Oh my god, if this thing is gonna set up right now, that could be dangerous. And at this point, I wish I had Hyper Voice on my Maractus, by the way. But no, he's going to go straight up to try to take care of the Torkoal, but we're going to take that hit because Torkoal is a bulky boy which can take any hit. So we can now hit the Flamethrower, which of course will break off the sub, but unfortunately the toxic damage will kill off the Torkoal here. So, you know, Torkoal break the sub in his final effort. So Torkoal, you rest, man. So here I was like, well, the sun is up, I can go into my Yveltal and I can click Heat Wave. Sun boosted Heat Wave will take care of the Zeraora, and if he wants to switch out, it's going to, you know, do some damage against any of the other Pokemon of my opponent team, but Zeraora will go down here. So Yveltal will get a kill, which means Yveltal now has 6 kills in this league, so it's the kill leader. So Yveltal is doing amazing job here for my team, and I mentioned it before, a much better Uber for me to use than the Lugia from last season. But when I saw the Calm Minds on the Arceus, I knew I was now basically in hell. Because if the god itself is setting up the Calm Minds, you know it's going to be a rough ride. So Maractus unfortunately didn't got a kill this week, has to go down. Then Mega Medicam will come in and I won't be able to outspeed it with the speed investment that I have. Jinder Mahal, Medicam is going down as well. So now I have Yveltal left. Yveltal with the Choice Scarf, of course. We're going to hit a Dark Aura, but at this point the only thing that I can do was try to flinch him. But he's going to click Recover, getting all of his HP back. So at this point I have to get like maybe 20 flinches in a row. So we're just gonna try it. We're gonna click Dark Pulse, and it's not going to flinch. So the Thunderbolt will connect on the Yveltal. It's not going to kill, but to show off, he is going to paralyze the Yveltal. And at this point, now the Arceus can outspeed me. And we'll kill off the Yveltal. So Yveltal goes down to the Arceus-Dark, and we're going to lose this match with 3-0. So, my opinion about this match. As mentioned before, if you're facing off in an Arceus, whether it's Dark, whether it's Fairy, whether it's any Arceus form, I mean there are several Arceus forms which you can probably deal with, but like Dark Arceus is probably one of the better better Ubers in the game. I think I've experienced that last season against a Dark Arceus. It's such a difficult Uber to face off against, even if you have the right mons for it. It just does so much. So the only way I could have maybe tried to win this if he stayed in on the Survivor and got hit with a final gambit. But he told me after the match that he knew a final gambit was probably coming because he saw my last match where I used Survivor, which was against the Puffy Pachirisus if I'm not mistaken, where Survivor got the only kill in that match with final gambit, which is a good scouting from his part. Like if you actually prepare yourself and also watch back the matches from your opponent from a few weeks ago to try to scout out to see what moves I'm bringing, that's just good scouting from my opponent. So, you know, I had to click Final Gambit there with the Survivor because if he wants to stay in and not expect it, you know, Arceus would have gone down to a Final Gambit from the Survivor, and then with the Arceus gone, I could have probably managed to still do a lot in this match, but he played it out very perfectly. And of course, I do have Maractus Survivor in my team, but hey, I mentioned it before, that's how I play, that's how I roll. I like to use lower tier mons and try to make them work in League Draft format. And, you know, if I lose, that's the risk of playing like that, you know. Sometimes you win by surprising your opponent that way, and sometimes you lose because your opponent has the answers or your team is just not strong enough to take down a huge threat, which could be like the Arceus-Dark. But the match itself, I had a blast playing this match. We played, again, very aggressively, especially in the beginning with the Primarina against the Komao. And he did it as well. He played aggressively at the beginning as well, trying to substitute Dragon Dance, trying to just go 1 from 100 at the beginning. And I can always respect that. So, you know, this was a very fun match. A lot of his bulky mons didn't got into play, so it was a very fast-paced game in terms of offense, which I also very much like. So, all in all, we did lose with 3-0, but, you know, I'm having fun with these matches, and that's why I'm having fun with the BBL and the LBC. I'm using mons that are lower tier, I try to make them work, and sometimes you get, like, fun matches out of them. Like, that's the only reason sometimes why I enjoy Draft League format. Just try to experiment and try to find a niche where you can actually use some mons that are considered bad, but, you know, have fun while using them, if that makes any sense. But I want to congratulate Clutch and also thank him for this amazing match. Thanks to Lantern Joe for this week's replay. His link will also be in the description below, as well as, of course, Clutch side of the match, as well as all the other coaches in the BBL. They will all be in the description below, as well as the poke base. So if you're still curious which set I was running on my mons, you can now pause the video, check that out, or watch the outro. But if you did enjoy this match, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share this video with others, slash subscribe button down below, and hit the bell icon because then you get notified every time I upload a new video, and that is sincerely appreciated. Tomorrow I will upload the LBC match against Kyle A, which is week 7? Yeah, week 7 of the LBC. So I had some issues with getting the replay on time and doing the match. I did the match like very late, like 4 o'clock in the morning for my time. So that will be up tomorrow. And as mentioned on Twitter, I will not be uploading APL Little Cup matches anymore on the channel because of the time. I just don't have the time. I'm having a busy schedule at work, and I want to focus on the LBC and the BBL. Try to finish those leagues, and then I can finish on other projects on the channel, because at that time Pokemon Sword and Shield will be close to be released, and then I want to take a break from Draft League till around April of next year, so that I can slowly adjust myself to the new meta. I have like vacation coming up next year, and at that point I can just, you know, focus myself on other parts on the channel. Maybe bring back Let's Plays, because I took a break from Let's Plays to focus more on Draft Leagues. So maybe now that I'm taking a break from Draft Leagues, I can maybe focus back on doing Let's Plays on the channel until I'm going back into Draft Leagues, if that makes any sense. I will make sure I will upload like an update video about my plans for the channel, maybe end of this week, so that you guys get all the information you needed on what I'm going to do with the channel. But with that all being said, I'm dragging this outro on for too long. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the LBC match against Kyle A, week 7. And until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time. Bye-bye.